Hi everyone, it's Nubian Sun Ra back with another video, and today I wanted to speak on some more polarity of how the narratives can switch and like how to alchemize it. So there's a polarity to energies. You can have feminine and masculine energy. What we do have feminine and masculine energy, and we use it depending on like the situation, and there are people that might be further into their masculine or feminine energy. But this is about polarity, so that's another video. But the polarity of it is, the feminine energy is represented by the moon because of emotion and intuition, and the masculine energy is the sun. The active and I think it's logical. So with the polarity is, sometimes we can go into different energies, although we are gender based on one energy, basically. In a way, it's like you can be a woman who have energy of, have both energies, but have more masculine energy. And it's not to say like, like you're masculine, like in mannerism. That's the polarity. It is energy. It's not mannerism. It's not train of thought. It's just energy, And with the feminine energy, it's the same thing, And a lot of times, whenever we are, being an empath, and you are not in a environment to where you are consoled while you're going through, all of the narcissism around you, you have to have some kind of system or a tactic built up inside of you to be able to sustain yourself. And a lot of times, one of my other videos, I did speak on how if you're an empath and while you're young, we have tactics to self-soothe ourselves. This is something kind of like a self-soothing mechanism because you're consoling yourself. But it's also like just making sure that you are keeping your mind right and not letting everyone around you play games with your thoughts and your feelings. So to be able to do that, we have to use polarity and narrative switches, because we have to know that the reality that is projected onto us is not our reality. We do not have to necessarily take that on as our own. You can do that without seeming as if, you are a victim. And it also will help us to forgive, not necessarily forget, and not forgive as in forgive and forget and let them back in your life to do more damage, but forgive in a way to where it's like, you see that they were a pawn. They were played in the game where you are the lead player. And basically, that's also how you take your power back. Look at it as it's working for you and not against you. And that also takes a lot of ego busting, because you have to look at it as that person also has their own story. And they're the narrative of their own story and the main character of their own life. So not everything is always, about us. Sometimes we're just casualty of wars and cross paths to learn certain lessons along with that person, depend on, the vibration and, circumstances also. I always try to add the 3D in there, so circumstances. Okay, so it goes something like this. If a person does you dirty on a business deal, you thought this person was trustworthy, you trusted them to sign or partner up on a business deal, and then this person ends up doing something that is untrustworthy. And instead of you looking at it as, you can't trust anyone, or you should have known. Why didn't I know that this person was like this? What was the signs? Did I ignore them? That's how we end up blaming ourselves. And that's how it's so easy for us to take on the polarity in the narrative of the abuser, so-called abuser. So it's like looking at it as, okay, well, now I know. And it won't happen again. And then start to think of ways where it won't happen again. And look at it as a lesson. Not only a lesson, a blessing. Because we all know there's not all good in the world. So if you didn't run into that one person that showed you the most wildest side of people, the wickedness, how wicked people can be, you might have never known, and it could have been worse. It could have been somebody that took the whole business from you right up under your nose, and you would have never known, So just count your blessings and say, okay, well, at least it was just, a couple $1,000, and I could recover from that eventually and fire or buy out the next person, or however that go, just clean the mess up, keep it moving, but there is no one to console you, No one there to fix it but you. No one there to pretty much take on the burden that comes with wanting to blame yourself and take full responsibility for what has happened. So you have to use polarity to look at the situation from a different point of view, to be able to get the best out of that situation and come out of it with a better understanding or overstanding of exactly what happened. And that's just one example. Like, there's another example. It seems kind of harsh, but it's actually perfect for this topic. Like, a woman get violated, raped by some random man. That's the scenario, and she get pregnant, and instead of looking at it as, I didn't know this man, he violated me, and I don't want anything to do with anything of a part of him, and this is not how I wanted to have my children. I didn't want it to be like this, that'll drive you into a depression, and it make people not want their children after that and things like that. But polarity and narrative switching would be a way where the woman will be able to have this sense of forgiveness. It's like not in the form of, she like to be, invaded in that way, or, like even just love for the baby, because, most people be like, well, she just loved the baby, it's deeper than that, because, sometimes you'll see the person and, again, you don't feel any type of way. You just hope they don't come messing with you. You get what I'm saying? But it's like something that is, it's like transmuting energy, because that's what polarity is. It's turning a feeling that most people would say you are supposed to feel and transmuting it into however you want to feel, however you see it, And that's why a lot of people won't understand why, certain people think the way they think, or they do the things they do, because it's not of what is expected. There's a lot of people that actually know how to use polarity, alchemy, and narrative switch things. It happens every day, especially with children. Children, a lot of times, even if they feel a certain kind of way at some point in time, a lot of times they will, people will say they grow out of it, but it's actually just using polarity to be able to heal and move on. It's a coping mechanism. It's something close to like, I want to say PTSD, because that's a little different. But it's a response to trauma in a way where it could be unhealthy if it's prolonged. You know, like after a situation where you had to use alchemy, polarity alchemy, once that situation ends and then you prolong the situation and recycle that experience, you know, it could become a problem because now it's like unhealthy, you know. But it's a healthy thing to do when you're in wild situations, you know. Not to say that it's made up or fake or nothing, you know, because it's a real thing. You know, I explained in my other video how polarity worked within the system, you know, and that's very relatable if you ask me, you know. And it can go with just about anything else, you know. It's just making sure it's in a healthy way, you know, and not a way where like people can like step all over you and stuff like that. But like just being able to use the energies of your masculine and feminine energy is also part of polarity and alchemy, because both energies heal during different, you know, phases of life. It's just they actually work for different scenarios, you know. Whenever you are working with something that take more thinking or intuition, something that's not really seen, that goes with the feminine energy. And when you want to take action, you know, and be straightforward, and it's not as discreet, you know, then masculine energy is usually used for that. Like, for example, like dealing with a stressful situation at work. Like, say like you have a narcissistic manager, and they're trying to set you up in ways so you can lose your job. You know, I can actually go further with that, but I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna keep going with stay on topic. So we will use the masculine energy to confront the situation and produce facts on what is right and what is wrong, what you have done and what you haven't done, and accusations that may be forced upon you that you do not identify with. But feminine energy, intuitively, you understand that they just don't like you, and they're taking their little bit of power that they have and abusing it, you know. So instead of being angry and saying like, okay, fuck this job, you know, wanting to fight somebody, having no daydreams about blowing the motherfucker up, I blow this bitch up, you know, stuff like that. Instead of doing that, you know, you think of it as maybe It's God's protection. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't know what they got going on, but I'm not supposed to be here. So you leave. And you wait to see if you're going to hear about it, see it. Or maybe you just weren't supposed to be there. Maybe God has something greater for you, you know. And that is a way where you can keep your heart clean of hatred and malice towards anybody that, you know, it seems like they were trying to destroy, sabotage you, you know, all type of evil tactics. And even if that was their intention, you know, looking at it differently brings in, it brings in positive energy that you can use and alchemize into a better situation. Like you could end up getting a new job the next day or a few days down the line, a week down the line, even if it's a little late because, you know, bills be due. But, you know, the energy is used to be able to attract better. Don't lower yourself, your energies to be bitter and hateful and regretful, and you'll be able to keep on manifesting and seeing things clearly without your feminine energy running over too much to the point where the waters is muddy and you don't know what you're going to do and you start panicking. You know, you have to stay calm, you know, and that is exactly how it worked. That's the only way I know that it worked, you know, and I've actually experienced some things that it's like where I had to literally like alchemize the situation to keep from getting drugged down to the lower energies of pitying, looking as a victim, you know, helpless. Because once we feel those feelings, we get aggressive, you know, and that's not a good place to be. And it's very easy to get there because of, you know, all the, you know, circumstances in the world that we may not be going through depending on, you know. So it's like pretty much just not taking on the situation as it is, because not everything is always what it seems to be, you know. And because things aren't always what it seems to be, it's even easier to alchemize, you know. It's not really delusional either. Don't let nobody say that, because now that is a polarity, a narrative switch. You know, a lot of narcissists love to do that. That person might have narcissistic traits or be a full-blown narcissist. You know, that's the first thing you need to look at before you let people project on you and try to do polarity switches, narrative switches on you. You know, because a lot of times people that do that, instead of helping you stay above the situation and they bring up the negative polarity, is because unconsciously or consciously, you know, they're just negative people, you know. And you don't need that in your life, basically. So yeah, that's all I would like to say for today. I hope you all are drinking your water, saying your affirmations, meditating, loving yourself, staying balanced, grounding. Peace and love.